Welcome to the Big Three. This is a Retail 101 presentation from Dion Inc. You know, there are a few things I want to begin with. One is what I call kind of the take it to the bank idea, and begins with just a saying: if you want different results, you must expect to deploy different methods. Wish I had said it first, but it's actually Winston Churchill's saying. And what it really tells us is that if we're not happy with the way our store is going, if we're not happy with the way our business is going, we really do need to make some changes. And yet, the second thing that we need to understand is that we simply can't change what we can't measure. Because think about it. I mean, if you say, well, gee, I'm gonna change this, how do you know at the end of the day whether it changed or not? If you can't measure it, you really don't even know that. And by the way, if you want to really change something and you want to measure something and you want people to do it, then believe me, people respond to positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement works so much better than punishment. So threatening staff, oh, we've got to do this, or we'll all lose our jobs or whatever, that just simply really does not work. And so what are these three measures we want to talk about very quickly? Well, they're first and foremost average transaction, secondly units per transaction, and third conversion rate. I would argue that these are the three most critical measures that you can use in a retail business today. And more importantly is this question of when should I look at these measures? In order for them to be effective, you've got to look at them on a daily basis, minimally. And that means when we come in the morning, all of us, all the staff and ourselves should be able to see what we did on this measure yesterday. And as a matter of fact, the more immediate it is, the more likely it is to affect behavior. And so if I can even know those numbers, almost what we call real time, in other words, I could find out what my average transaction is right up to this minute. So if my staff can go to the register and call up a report, or I can look at some data that tells me what my conversion rate is right up to the moment, it becomes far, far more powerful. So let's just quickly go through these three numbers, three measures that we should be looking at every day. The first one's called average transaction. So simply, how much does the average customer spend in our store? This is really an important measure because it really tells us how well we are both trading up, and so when we have good, better, best, really is sensitive to our staff and whoever's in the store selling more of the higher price product, the better product. And that's something we should always be striving to do, is sell our customers the best. And then it is also sensitive to suggestion or add-on selling. This particular number should always be going up. There's no benchmark for it for any kind. You might be saying, well, gee, Jim, what should my average transaction be? I'm a jewelry store, or I'm a clothing store, or I'm a furniture store. There is no benchmark for it. Whatever your average transaction is, by week, by the way, so you should be comparing, for example, the first week of December this year with the first week of December last year, kind of an apples to apples, because average transaction does vary throughout the year. You should always be looking for it to be going up. And again, the formula is very simple. It's on the screen. Sales for the day, the week, the month, doesn't matter, divided by the number of transactions for the day, the week, the month. And so in this particular case, I had $90,000 in sales for the week. My transaction count was 5,500, so I had an average transaction of $16.36. The second measure, units per transaction. And this is again an absolutely critical measure. How many items are in the average basket, as we put it? In other words, how many things are purchased in the same transaction. This measure is very sensitive to suggestion or add-on selling. It is, as a matter of fact, it is not sensitive at all to trade up selling. I can increase my average transaction just by selling better items, higher price items. But the only way I get units per transaction up is to sell more product to customers. And again, this measure should always be increasing. Total items sold, again, for the day, week, or month, or hour, divided by the total transactions for that same period of time. And so in this example, I had 5,000 items that I sold, divided by 3,200 transactions tells me I average about 1.56 units per transaction. Again, there's no specific benchmark in any industry, but I believe firmly in my heart that units per transaction should be minimum of 2 in any business, if not 3 or 4 or 5 or more for a lot of businesses. And then the third leg of what I call the tripod, the absolute trio of incredible measures that can change your business is conversion rate. How many customers out of 100 who come into your store actually leave with a purchase? So it really is measuring how well you're converting these browsers or shoppers into true buyers. And clearly, the higher this number is, the higher this percentage is, the better your business is. And so it is a measure of total transactions, how many sales you made, divided by total traffic. And again, total traffic, by the way, equals conversion rate. Total traffic cannot be counted manually, because I'll tell you right now, the best way to get your conversion rate up if you're counting manually is not to count a few people. And so again, I use a automatic traffic counter. Are they 100% accurate? Absolutely not. And I really don't care if that 25% on the screen is the accurate number. What I care about is if it's 25% last week, I want it to be 26% this week and 27% the week after. Error is constant, but I always want my percentages to be going up. And just to end with this session with a very quick explanation of what we call leverage, how you can take two of these measures together and you can see the potential impact, which is profound. So in example A on the screen in front of you, you have 600 customers coming into the store. You're converting 25% of those, which by the way is 150 people making a transaction or making a purchase. $45 is your average sale. That would give you $6,750 in sales for the period, for the week. How about an example B? We have 600, same 600 customers, by the way, but what if we can move, we can leverage, we can push our conversion rate from 25% up to 28? We simply close 18 more customers. Instead of 150, 18 more. It's easier said than done, by the way, but I'll tell you one thing, when you begin to focus on conversion rate, your staff all of a sudden starts paying attention to every customer. So it's not out of the question that I could move it up by 3 percentage points if my staff is really bought into this. So same $45 average transaction, average sale. Now I've got 7,560 or a 12% sales increase. Same traffic. And now if I take those same 600, maintain that 28% conversion rate, but just simply sell a $10 add-on item. Suggestion sell a $10 add-on item to every customer. Now I potentially could get a 36% sales increase on the same traffic. It's not magic. It's not, out of the question. It is imminently doable. Anyway, thank you for attending this Retail 101 session, and please continue to come back to our website and look for the other titles in the series where we kind of want to take you through the basics, Retail 101, and get you back to what we all should know and be doing every day in our retail businesses. Thank you.